You admit that you have slapped Tina before, but why, Ike?
Tina Turner, music legend.
I've always wanted to be so much like her.
With everything from shoes to coat hangers, once putting a burning cigarette to her lips.
Okay, I can stop you. I know where you're going.
I'm amazed to read in some of those performances with him, you had blood in your mouth.
If I ran away, Tina was his name. It was Patton.
So he owned you?
Because I was really afraid. I planned, okay, then I'll just die because I'm really tired of everything.
I went into his room and he started to touch me. I really didn't like it because that was my brother, that was my friend. And then the next thing, he would pick up something because, you know, if you play guitar, you can't fight and play the guitar, so he always fought with something.
Yeah.
And then against the head, always the head, with a shoe stretcher. And it really hurt, but I was still trying to figure out what was happening. And then, the beating came. I said, I was down by then, really starting to cry. And then he said, get in bed. Oh, that was really awful. Have sex after, no, I hate you. How can we make love now if it's love?
Yeah.
And went through that, and then I laid there with a swollen head, just having sex.
And that was the beginning of the torture. That was the beginning of how it was. I had to lay down, and he would stand over me and threw this hanger and just on my fanny. I swear to God, my fanny swole 2 inches higher. And then he would screw me. And then right back on stage, he'd make me go on stage and say, you sang, you motherfucker, because you made me do it.
On stage, Ike and Tina seemed like the perfect couple, captivating the world with their music.
When I was a teenager back in the 60s, I knew of their record that they had out, but I had never seen them. And then they came on TV and I saw her dancing, and that's all I could look at. I was just so amazed at this woman. It's wild. It's your sensuality and sexuality, and it's in your face.
Did you ever study dancing?
No.
No? And what about music? Singing?
No music at all. Everything is just natural for me. I'm a performer, and I sing, and Ike does the managing and producing.
But when they stepped off stage, the cracks started to appear.
After the show, Ike usually has a party afterwards. Now, I don't know how relaxing those parties are.
On camera, Tina was all smiles and laughter, so no one ever questioned their relationship. But out of the spotlight, Tina's smile vanished. And yet, no matter how abusive and controlling he became, Tina couldn't bring herself to leave.
If you don't address the wounds of your past, you continue to bleed.
My mother and father, they fought from the very beginning. But my mother always fought back. Boy, I remember. She used to sit in the window of the kitchen when she was making dinner on Sundays and always stare out. I thought she was so pretty. I used to just watch her. One day she wasn't in that window. She was never in it again. Daddy came home, he sort of panicked, and then he left. And there was no contact with my mother and father once they left. They didn't send money back for food. They didn't send money back for clothes. So we were stuck with becoming independent.
You know, she always had the feeling that she wasn't loved. She wasn't a wanted child.
Mother was not kind. When I became a star, of course, then she was happy because I bought her a house. I did all kinds of things for her. She was my mother, but she still didn't like me. Even after I became Tina, she didn't want me. She didn't want to be around me, even though she wanted my success.
I think with her mom, I think that's still the traumatization of being left as a child that never left.
When Tina was all alone, music became her savior.
Tina, you started your musical career in a church choir in your hometown.
Those were good times, to remember all of the church singing and the choir and all.
I always knew that I could sing and dance. It was just a gift that I was born with.
It was just within me, some innate ability there that brought the fantasy into my mind.
and movies just made me dream about there is something else other than Nutbush or this way of life.
Ike was very well known in St. Louis, and I was still in high school, very young. And, and I had wanted to sing with this group, too young to go in the clubs, but I sort of put on makeup and so forth to get in. And when I finally got to him, I asked him if I could sing with him, and he says, "Yeah, I'll call you." Yeah, you know.
Yep.
So then, but he never called me. So one of the musicians set one of the microphones down one night, and I took hold of the mic and started singing. Pow.
Ike had given her the keys to her dream and the only family she had ever known. But she couldn't protect them from his rage.
I remember one time he was striking my mother, and I was young, and he had thrown some scalding hot coffee on her, and I banged on the door, and I said, "Mother," and then it stopped, and then she said, "Craig, I'm okay."
But Tina was far from okay.
When it looked like I possibly couldn't get out because I was really afraid, I planned, okay, then I'll just die because I'm really tired of everything.
I went to the doctor and I told him that I hadn't been sleeping and that I need some sleeping pills or whatever. And this particular night I went in, I took the whole bottle in one swallow. And I felt, this is it, no more. I did not make it to the stage. I remember being in the car and him sticking his finger down my throat, trying to make me throw up. And finally I went unconscious.
Tina was rushed to the hospital where the doctors pumped her stomach and saved her life. But when she woke up, the first thing she saw was the one person she was trying to escape.
Ike went in and started talking to me, and my pulse started. I was insanely afraid of that man.
Tina knew once and for all she had to leave Ike, even if it meant walking away from her dream. So one night, in front of a packed audience, she made it very clear what she really wanted.
I'm going to talk about respect. Because you see, respect is what I want. I think it's what most of us want. But you know, we don't always get what we want, especially us women. The men always manage to get what they want. But fellas, you started us women to thinking, yeah, we can think too. We think that whatever's out there in the streets must be good. Now those women wants to go out there and get us some too.
After that performance, sitting in the car with Ike, Tina found the strength to do what she'd never done before.
I was holding some chocolates, waiting for him to eat. So I'm sitting there, all done up, holding these chocolates, and I went, oh, it had melted, and I wasn't aware of it, and I went, oh, yuck. Just for that, he attacked me. I mean, that was like, for me, it was like, and it's not about the chocolates, it's just his rage against me and a lot of other stuff. And so at that moment, I felt, well, this is it. And so, yeah, the fight started. I felt good fighting back. And then also it was just about not accepting it anymore, not accepting someone to hit me anymore.
That night, Tina gathered all the courage she had left and attempted to break free.
So he was asleep, finally, and I was sitting there thinking, my heart was in my ears, boom, boom, because I didn't know that when I walked out of the room, I could have run into some of his people, but then there was something there that I didn't really care. So I just grabbed my bag and I put some little cap on my head because it was so swollen that it was beyond wearing a hairpiece or anything. And I started to walk. It was like a movie. From the walking became trotting and then running. Hotel I didn't know, the Hilton in Dallas. It was brand new. And I ended up in the back, all the trash cans and rubbish. And I sat there.
I walked across the freeway to the Ramada Inn. I was very proud. I mean, I felt like, I felt strong. I mean, I'd never done this. I asked for the manager. The manager came out and I said to him who I was, showed him my driver's license. I said, all I have is a mobile car and 36 cents. He gave me a very nice room. I called an attorney friend. He arranged for a ticket and a friend to take me to the airport. Took a plane the next day about 3 o'clock into LA, and I went in hiding where he didn't know where I was.
The next day, it was the 4th of July, and I said, what a 4th of July? But I'll remember every time, the 4th of July is when I got my freedom.
Although Tina had escaped Ike's abuse, he still controlled every aspect of Tina. And when she filed for divorce, he tried to take it all for himself.
I got nothing. No money, no house, no car.
He got all old royalty rights and
he got everything. There's no connection now with Ike and Tina Turner that I own.
And that's what he wanted. I mean, he just said, if
no,
you're leaving...
he wanted to own me. But I said, you will not own me. Mm-hmm. If you want all of what we both worked for, then take it for my peace of mind.
Mm-hmm. I was prepared to go through whatever I had to go through with Ike Turner, even if it was death, because I would never go back.
The judge called us into the chamber. I said, actually, there is something that he has that I want.
And so I said, I'll just take my name. Ike fought a little bit because he knew what I would do with it. And it was through court that I got it. Tina.
To keep it is to reclaim it, reshape it, refine it.
With nothing but her name and her newfound freedom she had fought so hard for, Tina had to rebuild not just her life, but everything she had lost. She was alone, but she was relentless. Night after night, she performed in small dive bars, pouring every ounce of herself into every song. Slowly, she clawed her way back through clubs, television performances, and eventually, arena stages.
And I moved into the first #1 I'd ever had that I wanted so badly to get, never got.
Well, you got it.
And I got it. So actually, he was holding me back from it.
This 50-year-old woman playing stadiums throughout Europe and having an audience ranging from about 15 to 60 was pretty amazing.
When I'm on stage and it's like 20,000 people, then you know that it's all worthwhile, you know.
That concert in Rio, there's 186,000 people there.
You can't imagine what it's like for me to finally stand there and draw all of those people. It's a feeling of like, I did it. And it's really genuine. It's almost like magic because you're standing there and they're really giving you the love.
When you look back at your life, what is the legacy of Tina Turner?
Because I believed in something inside of me that told me that it can get better or you can make something better and that I wanted better. So my legacy is a person that strived for wanting it better and got it.
What an amazing story of resilience, of female empowerment with a happy ending, right? She seemed so at peace during the last years of her life.